subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic exposed the limitations of an economy and an industry that is overly reliant on imports, especially from China, Atmanirbharta or self-reliance has become a national aspiration. But while textiles, pharmaceuticals, and electronics have been the focus of the Atmanirbhar conversation so far, the pandemic may have paved the way for a different kind of self-sufficiency altogether. Indigenous rhesus monkeys, or rhesus macaques as they are called, were used for the animal studies of Covaxin. These were carried out during the lockdown with special permission from the Maharashtra Forest Department, as importing monkeys was not possible during the lockdown. China is among the biggest suppliers in the world of research monkeys, both rhesus and cynomolgus monkeys, which are originally from Vietnam or Cambodia. China's breeding program started way back, and it has been supplying research monkeys across the world, which is why when China stopped these exports early on in 2020, there were very serious concerns about the fate of the vaccine programs across the world. Of course, the experience of working with Indian monkeys was not rosy at all, and this is hardly surprising given the social and religious sentiments that are associated with this animal. In fact, just as ICMR was getting ready to publish a paper in the prestigious Nature Communications journal, which talked about the immunogenicity, that is, the ability of the vaccine candidate BBV152, that went on to be known as Covaxin, to mount an immune response and its protective efficacy, animal rights groups stepped in, and there was a lot of worries that were thrust on the research team that it had not bargained on. Eventually, after these groups wrote to the journal alleging mistreatment of the animals, the group had to submit health certificates of each individual monkey that was used for the study before the paper could actually be published. There are stringent requirements, obviously, for research animals. They should be healthy so that they can mount an immune response. They should not be too old, because in that case, the immune response may not be optimum. And they should ideally be inbred, because that makes it easier for researchers to know their genome profiles. That is why importing monkeys is usually preferred, though it is an expensive option. But the Covaxin study was carried out at a time when flights had been stopped, importing monkeys was difficult. China had put a ban on it altogether, but even other countries were no longer an option unless the researchers were to delay their project waiting for imported monkeys. That was not an option because the world over vaccine development against COVID-19 was a race against time. The study used 20 animals. 30 were caught from the wild with permission from the Office of the Principal Chief Conservator of Forests, Maharashtra. Of the 20 rhesus macaques that were used, 12 were male and 8 were female, and were captured using experienced monkey catchers with the necessary approvals. The approximate age of the animals was determined based on their dentures and body measurements, and all ethical clearances, including from the Committee for the Purpose of Control and Supervision of Experiments on Animals, which is a Government of India panel. In a subsequent paper, there is a reason why, obviously, monkey studies are not easy in India, and that is also why very few of them actually happen. But there is a reason why they have to be done. A lot of prestigious journals, when data about a vaccine or a drug is presented to them, especially preclinical data, ask for data among non-human primates, that is, monkeys. And this is because they are the closest to humans in terms of physiology. Also, researchers say that when studies are done in small animals like mice and hamsters and zebrafish, which are more common in the preclinical stages, there is one kind of information that is obtained, but when the same studies are done in larger animals like monkeys, the quality of the information is dramatically different. Not many centers in India can handle monkeys, which is also a reason why studies are so few on these animals. The reasons are obvious. Monkeys are big creatures when you put them in a cage and when you have to draw blood from them or give them vaccines, give them injections. All those things need a level of skill and dexterity which are hard to come by. But then, in the interest of science, these are studies that have to be done. And if India really hopes to become a superpower in terms of its vaccine and therapeutic manufacturing capacity, and by this, I don't just mean manufacturing something developed by others, but if we are to repeat the Covaxin feat over and over again, this is something that we really need to develop. As we spoke about right in the beginning, China is the biggest supplier of research monkeys currently in the world. It began its captive breeding program for rhesus monkeys way back in 1978 and for the cynomolgus monkeys in 1985. Cynomolgus monkeys are originally of Vietnamese or Cambodian origin. The first export shipment of rhesus left China in 1984, and over the years, it has become quite a superpower in export of research monkeys. By 2019, China had in fact provided almost 60% of all research monkeys that were imported into the United States. India is not short of monkeys. What it is short of is awareness about the need for these studies, skill sets that need to be honed in researchers to do these studies, and most importantly, to bring society into confidence before embarking on these so as to avoid a situation like what happened with ICMR for the Nature Communications study. This is Abantika Ghosh reporting for ThePrint.